Welcome to the Edge and the presidential debate. The last of the debates, one that got kind of shoved aside, and one before that, and now the third one. You'll be with us tonight to watch that. Thank you very much. And we've been making commentary as we go along. Probably have to break it up in segments, but thank you for watching with us and listening to our commentary. Tell us what you think when it's all done. Thank you very much.
Because they're affecting our sovereignty.
President Trump, same question to you. Let me ask the question. You're going to have 2 minutes to respond. For 2 elections in a row now, there has been substantial interference from foreign adversaries. What would you do in your next term to put an end to this? 2 minutes
Well, let me respond to the first part as Joe answered. Joe got $3.5 million from Russia, and it came through Putin because he was very friendly with the former mayor of Moscow. It was the mayor of Moscow's wife, and you got $3.5 million. Your family got $3.5 million, and you know, someday you're gonna have to explain why did you get 3.5. I never got any money from Russia. I don't get money from Russia. Now, about your thing last night, I knew all about that, and through John Ratcliffe, who was fantastic, he said the one thing that's common to both of them, they both want you to lose, because there has been nobody tougher to Russia. Between the sanctions, nobody tougher than me on Russia. Between the sanctions, between all of what I've done with NATO, you know, I've got the NATO countries to put up an extra $130 billion, going to $420 billion a year. That's to guard against Russia. I sold, while he was selling pillows and sheets, I sold tank busters to Ukraine. There has been nobody tougher on Russia than Donald Trump. And I'll tell you, they were so bad. They took over the submarine port. You remember that very well. During your term, during you and Barack Obama, they took over a big part of what should have been Ukraine. You handed it to them, but you were getting a lot of money from Russia. They were paying you a lot of money, and they probably still are. But now, with what came out today, it's even worse. All of the emails, the horrible emails of the kind of money that you were raking in, you and your family. And Joe, you were vice president when some of this was happening, and it should have never happened. And I think you owe an explanation to the American people. Why is it? Somebody just had a news conference a little while ago who was essentially supposed to work with you and your family, but what he said was damning. And regardless of me, I think you have to clean it up and talk to the American people. Maybe you can do it right now.
Vice President Biden, you may respond.
Yes,
And then I do want to follow up on the election security.
I have not taken a penny from any foreign source ever in my life. We learned that this president paid 50 times the tax in China, has a secret bank account with China, does business in China, and in fact is talking about me taking money. I've not taken a single penny from any country whatsoever, ever. Number one. Number two, this is a president, I have released all of my tax returns. 22 years, go look at them. 22 years of my tax return. You have not released a single solitary year of your tax return. What are you hiding? Why are you unwilling? The foreign countries are paying you a lot. Russia's paying you a lot. China's paying you a lot. And your hotels and all your businesses all around the country, all around the world. And China's building a new road to a new a golf course you have overseas. So what's going on here? Why don't release your tax return or stop talking about corruption?
President Trump, you're...
Okay. You've been watching the debate with us on the Edge. I want to welcome you to the debate, and I've just watched President Trump state that Biden has taken all kinds of money from the Russians and from Ukraine, and that the submarine base in the Ukraine was taken over by the Russians. Well, that's not true. Half of Ukraine is really in the pocket and has been for a long time with Russia. There's a part that are fascist, and they're fighting differently, and they don't want any part of Russia, and there's a part that wants that Russia hands out passports to all the time, and people get benefits from Russia as if they're Russian citizens. That is what's going on. And the matter with Biden and Trump is trying to bring up is Hunter Biden and his Burisma relationship in the Ukraine also, and the dismissal of a prosecutor investigating the corruption in Ukraine. And there's something to that. But at the same time, our president here, President Trump, his daughter has got patents all over the place in China to make money there because of her relationship to her father, as Hunter Biden had a relationship to the vice president. So this is a toss-up here. There's corruption on both sides of the same argument. We can go back to listening to them again.
It's very unfairly. But we had a deal all done. As soon as we're completed with the deal, I want to release it. But I have paid millions and millions of dollars, and it's worse than pay. I paid in advance. It's called prepaying your taxes. I paid in advance.
I want to ask you both about questions regarding your potential